Holy crap, we're a second week into the new year and the sky hasn't erupted in a ball of flames yet. Well, you know what? Give it another week. Donald Trump's taking office on Friday. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. My name is Andrew Rhodes. With me tonight is the fat man himself, Professor Sherman T. Klump. Professor, say hello to all your fans.
Yes, hello everybody, hello fans, hello internet, hello YouTube, hi mama, hi Andrew's mom, hello, Klump's in charge, somewhat.
Yeah, you are somewhat, Professor. This week, I got a lot of topics to talk about, and about an hour or so to do so. So let's get started, shall we? I'm talking about the Chips movie trailer. And that did not thrill me. I'm talking about Tangled coming back for a new movie, but only for Disney Channel, and then coming back for a series. I'm talking about a school in Bucks County that is in deep trouble. I'm sorry, it's the whole school district is in deep shit. I'm talking about Verizon Wireless forcing their unlimited data plan customers to put a cap on their plans or risk losing their phones. I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch. I'm talking about the former director. I believe it is. Hold on, let me pull it up here quick. Where did I have that? Yeah, here we go. Former Attack on Titan editor is suspected in murder of wife. That's not good news. Canceled 80s Hollywood Gundam film was finally detailed. Well, like that couldn't be too good, too bad. You never know. Asheron's Call is coming to an end. They're shutting down their servers, and a diehard 74-year-old player is reflecting about his experience on playing the video game in a video. I'll get into that. I got a long-distance shout-out this week, a topic that I talked briefly about in a small standalone video on Thursday, and a few other topics, possibly down the road. Maybe some Q&A? I don't know. Let's see if we got enough time. So, without any further ado, Professor Klump, do you have any words to say before we get into this full-hearted?
Yes, I do, Andrew. In the words of our great emancipator, let's get busy!
Couldn't have said the words better myself, Professor. Let's go into this full steam ahead. And like always, since I am my own sponsor, if you're in the mood for trading cards, video games, DVDs, anime-related crap, action figures, you name it, swing by my eBay page, all lowercase, ARHOADS-2012. You can also follow me on Twitter, @OtakuRhodes. I tweet there pretty much daily. I put stuff up on eBay. I'm a one-man crew, pretty much. Occasionally, I have Professor Klump here by my side, keep me entertained, keep me laughing. Isn't that right, Professor?
Yes, that's right, Andrew, that's right. I'm constantly here, constantly keeping you happy, and constantly keeping you entertained. Well, you and everybody else out there. And by the way, congratulations on making it to 20 episodes.
Yeah, thanks, Professor. This is the 20th episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, by the way. I'm already up to 20 videos on my YouTube channel, courtesy of the standalone video that I came out with on Thursday, which I will get into later on in the podcast. But yeah, I'm up to 20 podcast episodes. I'm really great about that. I'd like to thank all of my fans, all of the viewers out there, especially my mom. Thanks, Mom, for reviewing. Thank you for being a loyal supporter. Don't forget, since I am on YouTube, if you like my video, click the thumbs up button. If you don't like my video, click the thumbs down button. If you want, subscribe to be up to date for when I do new stuff. I do have other stuff coming down the pipeline. I got Andrew Reviews. Andrew Unwraps is a new thing I'm working on. And I also have a few other things, possibly in the woodworks, coming up for this year. So, don't forget to check all that out. So, without any further ado, let's kick this off. So, Professor Klump, you've heard of Chips, right?
The food or the TV show?
Both.
The food, yes. TV show, sort of.
Well, the TV show was made back in the 70s. It starred Eric Estrada and Larry Wilcox, along with a cavalcade of other characters. It was a really great show, and I usually watched a lot of the reruns before I went to school in elementary school. I really enjoyed it, and it's something that will always hold a very special place in my heart. However, after watching this trailer for the Chips reboot movie coming out on March 24th of this year, I kind of have sad hopes for this. The movie is basically written, directed, and produced by Dax Shepard, making this pretty much the Dax Shepard experience. And I regret saying that because I probably just gave him an idea for a new TV show. There you go. There you go, Dak. Have that. Make yourself a TV show. I'm never going to watch it, so I don't really care. But, the trailer kind of sucked. It stars, like I said, Dax Shepard. I think it was, one second, let me pull. I have the article up here. Once I find my mouse. I have the article up here. From Wikipedia, it tells me who's playing in it. Let's see here. So who exactly is playing in this movie? Because I know it's Dax Shepard. Okay, it's Dax Shepard and Michael Pena. They're going to be the two main ones. Dax Shepard's playing John Baker, and Michael Pena is playing Francis Poncherello. Which, first off, I kind of want to say this. You know, the original show had issues about character race and everything else, about Eric Estrada playing a somewhat Mexican character, and you basically give a guy, you're basically stereotyping this. But I'm not going to get into that, because then that makes me like those assholes that were saying that because Scarlett Johansson was cast to play in the Ghost in the Shell movie, that Hollywood was whitewashing it. I'm not getting into that discussion. You know, they might have had a reason for doing it. I don't really care what the reason is. It does not bother me at all. But this movie does, I should say. The trailer bothers me, which means that the movie bothers me. It bothers me for a few reasons. And I was talking with Professor Klump before we started this tonight, and he's starting to agree with me. I showed him the trailer. We both watched it. What did you think of it, Professor?
I thought it wasn't really that good, Andrew. Personally, I wouldn't have minded if they wouldn't have tried to, taunt. I would have enjoyed it a little more, I should say, if they would have toned down the adult humor. You had cock jokes, men-on-men jokes. Stuff like that is not something you really want to have in a movie. But then, like you said, this is a Dax Shepard production, and Dax Shepard is not known for subtlety. You have one movie that he actually does play in. He plays the bad guy in that one, though, if memory serves. Employee of the Month.
Yep, yeah, he plays he plays Vince, the guy who's gunning for the high-ranking position after kicking ass and taking names for X amount of months and becoming Employee of the Month for so many times. Yeah. Good movie, though.
No, yes, it is a good movie. I have seen some of it. But, I'm just not a fan of this. Like you said, this sort of seems like it's the Dax Shepard production. It's like, this is pretty much how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to enjoy it. And if you don't like it, kiss my ass. To me, it seems like Dax Shepard's basically making it that it's my way or the highway, and that can't be. And with the cavalcade of other movies that we have coming out in 2017, most of which you already know about, it's just not really going to be that good, and I'm afraid it's going to get overshadowed pretty quick.
Personally, I kind of agree with you on that, Professor. I think it's going to get overshadowed mighty quickly, mostly because it's coming out the same day that the Power Rangers movie's coming out. Now, I've already pretty much dug the hole for that. I have the coffin already set up. All I'm waiting for that thing is to come out, bomb on opening weekend, and I've just pushed the casket right into the ground and just quick put a backhoe worth of dirt over top of it. I have that hole 12 feet deep, so it's not even going to try to come out, and I'm thinking about putting concrete, maybe 6 feet of that being concrete. Maybe even the whole 12 feet. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of overkill, but you got a damn point on that. But then, like you were telling me, though, before the podcast, before we started recording this tonight, that a Reddit user, if memory serves, came out with this wonderful little idea of this is how the movie's going to be, because this is what Zordon's going to be. after seeing some Power Rangers Experience thing, basically had a picture of what Zordon's gonna be. And how did you word it? 'Cause I was laughing so hard when you said it. He's basically a floating head on a jumbotron. Oh yeah. That's it right there. Floating head on a jumbotron.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, I've seen a picture of it. He basically just looks like a floating head on a jumbotron. That's it. Wow. That's really cool. So we're going to spend $10 to go see this. God forbid those that spend, I want to say more to go see it in IMAX. God forbid. They're going to spend all that money to watch The Breakfast Club meets Chronicle, and it's trying to be I Am Number 4, mixed in with a little bit of E.T., some mutant mudmen from planet Mars, and a floating head on a jumbotron. Not to mention a Megazord that the toy version is basically the size of a freaking newborn. Or hell, it's like the size of a 1-year-old. It's like 2 feet tall is what the toy is. And they have the gall. It's like, this is the new Megazord. Why even bother? But I'm not getting into that. We're talking about the Chips movie, but yeah. I saw the trailer for it. They're basically making it that John Baker's the overzealous one, the hot shot, and Frank Poncharella's the more down-to-earth one. So it's a complete 180 from what the original series was. If you're going to reboot something, at least try to have it be as close to the source material as possible. Oh yeah, we're going to name the one John Baker, we're going to name the other one Frank Poncharello, and they're going to work for the California Highway Patrol. Great! Everything else we can twist. No, that's pretty much the whole setting of the damn series, and you're trying to make a movie out of it, but you're going to change so much of it that nobody that enjoyed the original series is going to want to go see this. You have basically turned a TV series that lasted X amount of seasons into a goddamn movie that would basically be Super Troopers 3. Let's just face it. This movie is going to be Super Troopers 3. And I saw Super Troopers. I wasn't really a fan of it. I saw it. I saw a few other things. And when I saw this trailer, the first thing that came to my mind is, this is a piece of crap. But there was really no way to say it. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It isn't worth it anymore. So there's that. Am I looking forward to it? God, no. Then again, there's very few movies in 2017 I have my hopes up for. Cars 3, I kind of have... I'm kind of on the fence about. I'm thinking it could be good, it could be bad. I am not going to see the Power Rangers movie. You could not pay me enough money to see that. Forget that. I would like to go see the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie that's coming out in a couple weeks, provided it's going to be at a theater around here. I would enjoy to see, like... I don't know, maybe like a couple other movies if something good happens. But I'm definitely avoiding this Chips one. I'm avoiding Power Rangers. I don't go to see the Star Wars movies anymore because I'm going to get mauled by a bunch of nerds. I avoid Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm not a Triple X fan. So there's just like not that many movies that I'm looking forward to seeing this year. That being said, there's at least one, and I'm hoping to be able to see it opening day, God willing. So yeah, that's what I gotta say. Any final thoughts on this one, Professor, or should we just move on?
Oh yeah, just move on. I got no thoughts on this no more. Yeah, just move on.
Alright. So who out there remembers Tangled? Professor, did you ever see the Tangled movie?
I never heard of Tangled, actually. Hum a few bars, I'll see if I can fake it.
Tangled was a CGI animated movie, basically. It was like digital animation or something. It was from Disney. It was really good. Mandy Moore did the voice of Rapunzel. I liked it. In fact, to be a fun story with this, since it falls into the same topic, I actually bought the Tangled DVD after watching it on a free watch channel one weekend. It was on a Saturday and a Sunday night. And I missed both opening sections. I came in right before the, At Least Now I See the Light song, or At Last I See the Light, which, by the way, is my all-time favorite song in that movie. It is so touching. It is so warm. I love it. But I came in at that point twice, both days, and then that Monday rolls around. I'm like, nope, screw this. I'm buying the damn thing. I'm going to track it down. I got $30 on me. I'm going to track it down. I'm going to buy this son of a bitch. And I did. I tracked it down. I went to my local FYE. They didn't have it. And I'm like, okay, so I got like 2 or 3 backups just in case. I went over to my local Walmart, and they had it. Lo and behold, they have it. I go to buy it, and I'm basically looked at like I'm a goddamn pedophile because I'm buying a Disney movie.
Well, that's not right. You could have been buying that for your cousins, or you could have been buying that for anybody. There's no right for them to treat you like that.
Well, they didn't treat me like that. They just gave me the looks like that. But anyway, the reason why I'm bringing up Tangled and Rapunzel is because she's coming back to Disney. Disney's going to be making a made-for-TV movie, which is going to be leading into the new Disney Channel series, Tangled, the series. She's going to star in this TV movie first, which is going to will reintroduce the kingdom to her band of characters. It's called Tangled Before Ever After. It's a bona fide Disney Channel original movie. That's for starters. It's animated, so it's actually cartoon. I watched the trailer for it this morning. Rapunzel gets her hair back. Spoiler alert, but if you see the trailer, it's in there. She gets her hair back. There's a good line in the trailer. She's looking at this person who's nameless, who goes, and she goes, do you see the 70 feet of my father's going to kill me that suddenly grew out of my head? And I'm thinking, you know what, I kind of liked her as a blonde a little more than as a brunette, but I still kind of liked her as a brunette. So, she's coming back. She's going to get her hair back. Her hair's now indestructible, apparently, because this nameless figure tries to cut it with scissors, only for it to, nothing. The scissors just break. Is this going to be good? I don't know. The trailer looked pretty cool. It looked kind of interesting. It's something that definitely intrigues me. Now, up until this point, the only other Tangled thing we had was Tangled Ever After, which was a Disney Channel, which was a Disney short, which premiered in theaters in 2012. I don't remember which movie that went along with, though, but it wasn't that bad. So, I kind of got a kick out of it, and I did show you the trailer, right, Professor?
Yes, you did, Andrew. Yes, you did. I thought it was pretty good. Very well done, especially for a cartoon style. But I agree with you, though, about the one part. You're saying that if they really wanted to put the money and time into a series, why didn't they put the money into, doing it just like the movie was? I mean, they did the short, they did the other thing. And you made the comment about how CGI and that's pretty expensive, how it costs money to make the, live, the good animation. But basically, 2D in this thing basically seemed like a cop-out to me. It feels like that to me, too, in a way. It's like a cop-out. We don't really know why Disney's doing this, but then again, remember, this is the House of Mouse. They got their money tied up in Star Wars. They got their money tied up in Pirates of the Caribbean. I swear they got their hands in the pockets of Cars. So many Disney movies are coming out. Disney's got their hands in the theme parks. I swear we're going to be brushing our teeth with Mickey Mouse toothpaste in the next 20 years. So it's definitely, they could have put a little more money into this, I think. Got a little better of a, animation going. Not to saying that the animation isn't good. I do like the animation. It is really well done animation. But I'm just saying, we could have had, exactly like the movie and the short were, we could have had a half-hour episode of that. They could have knocked out X amount of those in one or 2 years. 1 or 2 seasons worth of that they could have knocked out in 1 or 2 years. They would have planned it out right. And we could have had a real good winner on our hands. But making it 2D, you're basically going about how the rest of Disney's trying to do their stuff. What they should try to do, in my opinion, you have the cash. Don't get me wrong. Disney has been making money. Disney has their hands in Marvel. They got Star Wars. They have a lot of money coming in. Not one Disney movie in the last how many years have bombed. Every single one of them is going gangbusters at the goddamn box office. Add that into your merchandising,
and everything else. You could definitely do something original, something unique with a series or a movie, and not just cop out and do 2D animation. I mean, you guys could have did this sort of like how you did the movie, and it could have really went well. Yes, I know the movie took a long time to make. It was well worth it. But if you put that same amount of attention and detail into this, you can definitely make a lot more. It was computer animated, I think. Yeah, I think that's what the title of it was. I know CGI is something else, but I think it was computer animated. But either way, they could still use that. I mean, they could probably pull up the files, pull out the characters, and come up with whole new stories. That's at least 60% of the work done right there, is if they can get the character models from the original movie files and put it into this. That's at least a huge chunk of the work done. Now, what do you think, Professor?
Andrew, as I've told you multiple times, I am a professor of genetics. And, but sadly, I do agree with you. I do dabble with computers every now and then. And I do agree with you on that. They could have easily up and did that, yanking out the original data footage and the data from the movie. They had to have the files backed up somewhere. They couldn't have just deleted those things, because then they came up with Tangled Ever After. So it's definitely something that they could do, something I think they should look into improving upon. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I'm looking forward to this. Yes, I'm looking forward to this. Definitely looking forward to this. Am I gonna watch it? Probably have to catch it on YouTube like Andrew will.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be catching this on YouTube. I don't got a Disney Channel. We just finally got my grandfather a Roku. I'm still trying to figure that thing out. But yeah, this is something I'm kind of looking forward to. Maybe watching it like on Disney, checking it out on YouTube. I swear to God, Disney will come out with this on DVD in like a month or two after it comes out. They'll have finished up like the first season. Hell, within... It's coming out... let's see here. Let me check the article here again. Let's see. Trailer, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Tangled Before Ever After premieres in March, and shortly thereafter is when the new series, Tangled the series, is going to start. So, I'd say maybe like a couple months into next year. I'm going to go with late February, early March of next year. They'll probably have the first complete season of that out on DVD and Blu-ray. They will probably have that Disney Channel movie out on DVD and Blu-ray. Why? Because Disney can make money off of that shit. Put that out there, somebody will buy that. Hell, I'll probably buy the Disney Channel original movie just to add it to my Tangled collection. I don't care if it's 2D. If it's a decent movie, I'll add it to my collections. I'll put it right next to Tangled, because I like Tangled. So, any thoughts, Professor?
No, none that I can think of, Andrew. None that I can think of at all. You did a pretty good one on this one.
Thanks, Professor. Let's go on to the next topic, which Professor Klump wants to talk about. Professor, it's all yours.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very much. Bucks County School District is apologizing for a homework assignment with adult content. Now, Andrew's mom was nice enough to send him the article about this after they all heard about it on the news. So, here we go here. It was Channel 6, by the way, which broke the story. It happened at the Penn Ridge High School in Perksdale, Pennsylvania. The assignment focused on Maya Angelou and her autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Have not actually read it, but it is on my list of things to do. And I do mean that is actually number 16 on a tile stack of books that I have to read for the end of the year. Two of the questions were captured in a photograph sent to the Action News, and I'm reading it right off of the article. One of the questions was an algebra formula that asked, Angelou was sexually abused by her mother's blank at age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivation for writing. The Penn Ridge High School students needed to solve a math equation before deciding whether the answer was boyfriend, brother, or father. Another question read, trying to support her son as a single mother, she worked as a pimp, prostitute, and blank. Another formula equation must be solved to determine if the answer was bookie, drug dealer, or nightclub dancer. This is not something... Now, as a professor, As a professor, I just want to say this. I am appalled at this. There's a lot of things you can and cannot do with students, and this is one of them. I'm starting to get really... My blood is boiling on this one. But when asked about it, a lot of people were turning their eyes. It's just really scary. The homework was coupled with word problems about the book and the author. The Intelliger newspaper reported on Friday. The assignment was from a website that allows teachers from around the world to share resources. Unfortunately, they have yet to identify the teacher who distributed this homework assignment. And the Penn Ridge superintendent said in a statement, "We apologize to anyone who was offended by the content of the assignment and have taken steps to avoid such occurrences in the future." Yeah. Also said in the statement, the superintendent added that the district had received complaints. "Oh my God, I don't know, man. I think if you are a teacher and you're putting stuff off the internet, that you should at least be reading through it yourself," said senior student Jacob Smith. So, this basically brings about a very interesting question. Are the teachers even teaching anymore, or have we finally raised a generation of idiots? Well, my mom constantly says we're raising a generation of non-thinkers. You could thank Dead Poet Society for killing that. As it's been said many times, and the late Robin Williams even admitted it himself, he said that Dead Poet Society has ruined generations worth of teaching. Because every teacher now tries to be funny and hilarious and doesn't really care. And then you have those that are only there for the almighty dollar. I'm there for my students. Not to mention the funding that Wellman College gets, which helps me to discover more things, become more and more famous. But I'm there for my students, damn it. I believe you, Professor. I believe you here. Just, why don't you go grab a soda out of the fridge. Relax, breathe. It's all right. It's okay. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I'm gonna go get up and get something to drink. All right, Professor. I'll be right here then. So, finishing up the article here is to let Professor Klump go. So this is kind of interesting as far as I could see. I heard this last night on the news, and it just boggled my mind. Another person said, "I still think it is a problem. It shouldn't be on a math test." I agree with that. This shouldn't even have been in school. This isn't even safe for health class. This is something that you do not put out in school. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings was published in 1969. It is assigned reading in many high schools, but it's also occasionally attacked for its content. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about it. It's not worth it. But basically, that being said, I think it's horrible that the school actually let this happen. I think the teacher that printed this out and used it as an assignment really didn't do their jobs, and they should get their asses fired for this, because they technically endangered students with this. Because if you can say that you endangered a minor by giving them a porno mag, then you can safely say that questions about sex, drugs, and rape and abuse are definitely disturbing the mind and corrupting the mind of a minor. That's my opinion. That's where I'm going to leave it at. I'm not even going to yell for Professor Klump. I know what he's going to want to go on this forever, and I really don't want to. So that's where we're just going to leave it at. So let's move on to the next topic, shall we? Okay, so courtesy of Otaku USA, former Attack on Titan editor suspected in murder of wife. Holy crap, this is going to be great. Park Jung-hyun, an editor and publisher at Kodansai, formerly in charge of the popular manga Attack on Titan, has been arrested in connection with the death of his wife, who the police suspect he killed. Park had made inconsistent statements about the death of his wife on August 9th, 2016, initially claiming he had found her collapsed, but later claiming she had committed suicide, hanging herself with a jacket. The autopsy revealed that Park's wife had been strangled. The evidence, including inconsistent statements from both Park and his children, scratches on Park's wife's forehead
and a lack of DNA on the jacket have led police to suspect Park of murder. Park was effectively the co-founder and editor-in-chief of Bitetsu Shonen magazine from its creation in 2009 to last year, where he oversaw manga such as Flying Witch, The Heroic Legend of Arslan, and Attack on Titan. Last year, he became vice editor at Morning, another manga magazine published by Kodansha. I know I'm mispronouncing that, and I do apologize. The Japanese Times basically quoted a colleague of Park's saying, "He was very talented. I was shocked. This could cause immeasurable damage to our comic department and the company as a whole." The Japan Times also reported that the police had raided Koda-san's office to confiscate Park's personal effects. Yep. So, that's kind of scary. So, you're basically having a person that's in charge of a manga series involving humanoid creatures that eat humans. And I'd say humanoid, but they have no genders. They have no genitals. The female ones have secondary sexual characteristics, not main ones. So, yeah. So, let's think about that. You got Attack on Titan, which is known for having huge naked people that have no genders eating humans. And I apologize for that. I still have allergies. I apologize. And you basically give your lone person, the former editor of it, is now accused of murdering his wife. There you go, folks. The plot comes full beeping circle, doesn't it? I just can't believe that. But yet, I know it's going to happen. So, there's that. Alright, Professor Klump still isn't back yet, so let's move on to the next topic. Acheron's Call, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. First launched by Turbine in 1996, is finally shutting down its servers. And a die-hard 74-year-old player is reflecting about his experiences on video. This article was actually trending on Facebook, I should say. It may be a distant memory for a lot of veteran PC gamers, but Acheron's Call, the MMORPG developed by Turbine, launched in 99. It was a huge deal when it first hit the shelves, and like all other computer games, just basically fell off the deep end. The article referenced that the game offered players a number of innovative gameplay features and was one of the first MMORPGs that successfully blended its mechanics with the ability to sustain an online community. Many of the lessons learned by Turbine in supporting Acheron's Call were implemented in Lord of the Rings Online, which, despite its fallings, was another big release in its own right many years ago. In an era of video game history where the MMORPG genre, and for those of you unfamiliar with that term, it's massive multiplayer online role-playing game. The genre has been utterly dominated by World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, but Acheron's Call slowly became more of an oddity and less of a valuable business venture for Turbine. Developers were happy to preserve the world of Acheron's Call for those who still played it, well beyond the expectations. They announced on December 20th that servers would be shut down for good on the 31st of January this year. In a video released by YouTube user We Sleep Talk, a 74-year-old player reflects on his 18 years of playing the game, describing it as, and I quote here, "a time that I could call my own. It was a great time when I had it." While the sentiment can be heartbreaking, the gamer later explains that he has made friends from all over the world. Sort of like what people do nowadays. The man also, it turns out, is We Sleep Talk's grandfather, who shares entertaining stories about coming home drunk, playing Acheron's Call, and losing all their equipment while in what they can only assume was a hangover-style antics. A video about Asheron's Call also serves as a reminder that MMORPG titles are often far more than the sum of their parts. There's a reason that World of Warcraft's Legion's sales numbers were so strong, and it isn't just that Blizzard continues to dynamically alter the world of Azeroth and add more features. It's that many gamers feel emotionally tied to the virtual world where they have forged very real friendships. Hey, I forged some real friendships with some NPCs when I was playing Dot Hack on the PlayStation 2. So no questions there. The 74-year-old is also quoted as saying that everything else looks like crap compared to this game. We Sleep Talk's grandfather is certainly a gamer through and through. I will definitely say that. Hats off to you, sir. You played a game for 18 years. You made a lot of friends. You were doing something online. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. That's all I got to say. Well, it appears that Professor Klump has left the building. He has left a note saying, we'll be back next week going for a pizza. Ha ha ha, loser. Damn you. I knew I should have put super glue on his seat. But that's fine. So, this week I want to do a long distance shout out. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with what that is, I'm actually borrowing it from American Top 100. It was something that the late Casey Kasem used to do. I don't even know if that countdown's still on anymore. But every Sunday night I would listen to it. And at one point, it's usually like around 10 o'clock, like 10 or 11 o'clock, the host would do a long-distance dedication. Well, I'm going to do a long-distance shout-out. And it's going to a person that I believe so much and very well deserves this. As many of you know, I have constantly talked about the Completely Unnecessary podcast here on the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. Particularly Ian Ferguson and Pat Contry, the two people who were my inspiration to begin my own podcast. I listen to their podcast religiously. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. I tried to help the poor guy that got screwed over by the greasy shit-stained hellspawn after listening to their podcast. Willie, that was his name. Willie. That's it. I had to think for a second. I was trying to be a nice guy. And all from listening to their podcast. So, it kind of hurt me a little bit. I was kind of worried when Ian put up on Twitter, because I follow both him and Pat on Twitter, and he goes, I'm not going to be doing the podcast for a while because, as you know, back in September of last year, he started getting really sick. Well, unfortunately, it got worse, and he still has no diagnosis as to what exactly is wrong with him. To make matters worse, he actually started getting really sick near the end of last year, and at one point ended up going to the emergency room. So, he unfortunately had to finally bite the bullet, and on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, on the 10th, he put out a video. Or he put up a GoFundMe campaign. He started one to help pay Ian's medical bills. Now, I'm actually going to pull this up here quick because I'm curious what it got up to as of now. So, give me a second because I actually have the link that'll take me there. So I can see how much he's up to as of me saying this right now. So, give me a second here. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Alright, let me pull up let me pull it up here and see what I find out. Because this was changing from what it originally was. It has gone a whole bunch since then. Okay, now when I originally did this, when I originally saw this, which was Wednesday after I got done work, he was up to about 13,000. As of right now, and this is 8:39 p.m. Eastern Coast Time, his GoFundMe campaign is at a total of $19,040 and $19,040 of his $1 goal. A lot of people have been donating. A lot of them have been anonymous in their donations. That's great. He has the thing up on here, and I'd just like to read a couple of segments out of this, if I may. He explained the whole story. He explained about how he had to swallow his pride, put it aside. He knows that a lot of this medical stuff is expensive, and the problem is that it costs a lot of money. He says, he has no insurance, which, then again, how many of us in the U.S. actually do anymore? His savings account's basically been eaten away by the cost of the medical bills. He's having a hard time working. He can't do the podcast. The income has taken a nosedive. And he's gotten almost $20,000 from this. Basically from this. I'm just shocked at that. So what I did, I don't have any spare to donate. Believe me, I wish I did. And I've said this, I wish I could donate. I really wish I could. But I don't have any extra on me to do that. But what I did was something really nice. And besides giving Ian a long distance shout out here, on Thursday, I fixed up a video. Because I didn't think that this was something that should wait until Saturday. So I fixed up a video on Thursday, put it up on YouTube, basically sharing Ian's campaign. You can check it out. There'll be a link to the video in the description of this video, because that video is not monetized, but my podcasts are. So there's a link to that there'll be a link to the video in the description. I promise you that I will have that in the description. So I put that up on Thursday, and that's my way of helping. I mean, I'm spreading the word. I've been tweeting it every day. So I'm giving out this long-distance shout-out to Ian. Hopefully, Ian, you get better. Hopefully, things improve. Hopefully, you can go back to doing the podcast, because I know Pat misses you. I know we, the fans, miss you. I know a lot of people miss you. So, hope you come back, Ian. We really do. Hope you get better. Too many people have been taken already that we enjoy. We don't want you to be the next one on the list. So take it easy. Get better. We hope you feel better. We hope you come back. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my long-distance shout-out, my long-distance dedication. So, actually, you know what? In his honor, my 20th podcast episode will be dedicated to Ian. There's a long-distance dedication for you, buddy. I've never met him in person. I can say that. I only basically know him from listening to the podcast. But I can say this. He's the type of person that if I actually met him, like if he'd be sitting at a restaurant or something, or he'd be sitting somewhere, I'd probably buy him a sandwich or a beer. I may not drink alcohol, but I'd buy him a beer. I'd buy him a sandwich. Hell, I'd probably buy him a slice of pizza or something. He's just that great of a person, and I just wanted to give that long-distance shout-out to him so everybody knows, we're thinking about you, Ian. We care about you. We hope you get better. We really do. We hope you get better. So take care, Ian. And we'll see you when we see you. All right, so let's get back on topic here. I got a couple more topics, and time's starting to wind down, so let's see what we can get done yet, folks. So, who out there has a Verizon Wireless unlimited data plan? Well, enjoy it while it lasts. Just like AT&T, Verizon isn't keen on its longtime customers holding on to their unlimited wireless data plans. However, unlike AT&T, they're not going to raise up the plan price They're just telling the customers either switch to a capped plan or get your phone disconnected. Now, they're not doing this to every single person. They're gearing this towards customers that use 200 gigabytes a month, or use more than 200 gigabytes a month, that they must move to a Verizon plan by February 16th or buy by phone. Now, they did the same thing back in 2016 when they targeted those who topped the 500 gigabyte range of wireless data, and this is all by month, by the way. So, it's basically either switch to a capped plan if you use a lot of it, switch to a capped plan, or kiss your phone goodbye. And a lot of people just aren't going to kiss their phone goodbye. So, you're basically looking at a tremendous amount of people that aren't going to do that, and a lot of other stuff that's going to end up happening. Now, AT&T has actually raised theirs up. According to the article, it's $35. They raised it to $35 in early 2016. And in March of this year, it's going to go up another $5 to $40 a month. Verizon, on the other hand, it's either get rid of it or get rid of it. So, there you go, folks. Both carriers were offering this unlimited data plan back in the early iPhone years, but it stopped offering it to new customers in favor of a capped data plan right around 2010. Yeah, because then they figured we can make more money if people aren't spending it like it's going out of style. Sure, we'll go with that. Not like they can just piss money out their ass some other way, right? But yeah, sure, we'll go with that. All right. Topic du jour time here on the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of the day is the Nintendo Switch, which is finally launching on March 3rd for $300. Yep, there you go. Switch will have paid online service that will be free until fall. No region locking for games. Nintendo revealed all this during a live stream presentation on Friday that it's going to release its hybrid home handheld system called the Switch on March 3rd in Japan, the United States, Canada, major European countries, Hong Kong, and other territories. The console is going to be priced at 29,980 yen in Japan, and what's actually roughly about, give or take, that's actually roughly about $300 here in North America. The Switch is going to have a paid online service, but it will be free on launch until fall, and that's when they're going to jack it up, make it like probably $50 or $60 a month, knowing Nintendo. Users will be able to set up online games, play appointments, and chat with friends. The console will have no region locking for games. Yeah, right! I'll believe that when I see it. Nintendo stated that there are over 80 games in development for the console. As of now, I know of at least 2. 3, because you're going to have a Mario game for this. What's a Nintendo system without a goddamn Mario game? So you got at least 3. I know Legend of Zelda Breath of Wind. I know there's going to be a Pokemon game coming for this thing. And you're going to have at least a Mario game. So that's at least 3 games coming. Let's see here. Yeah, Nintendo stated that they have over 80 games in development for the console. The console's battery life will be from 2.5 to 6 hours depending on the game. The console can be charged while playing with a USB Type-C cable. Up to 8 consoles can connect to each other in the LAN network. So basically it's Local Area Network, or LAN for short. Nintendo will offer Joy-Con controllers in neon blue and neon red colors, in addition to the default gray. Joy-Con controllers itself has an IR camera that can sense hand shapes and distances from the sensor. The controller have an HD rumble feature, blah blah blah. This will allow players to take screenshots with a video capture option available sometime after launch. Joy-Con controllers can also read and write Amiibo data. Nintendo will offer 2 Switch packages. Two Switch packages. One with one package bundled with the gray Joy-Con and another bundled with the neon blue and red Joy-Cons. The game package will come with the console, wrist straps, the left and right Joy-Con controllers, a Joy-Con grip, an HDMI cable, which, by the way, you can pick those up at your local dollar store for $1. I could get like 6 of them I can get one at the Dollar Tree for $1. So they're not that expensive. So why include that? They can just go out and pick one up themselves. And an AC adapter. The Pro controller is sold separately. Yeah, we all know about the NVIDIA Tegra processor, the NVIDIA GPU, a built-in high-definition display, blah, 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 blah. A user can play games several ways. 1. Hold a detached Joy-Con controller in each hand. 2. Use the controllers when they are attached directly to the main Switch device. 3. Split the 2 controllers with the second player. Or 4. Attach the controllers to a Joy-Con grip accessory. And the players can also use an optional Nintendo Switch Pro controller instead of the Joy-Con controllers. Who cares? You really want to get into something interesting with this? And excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. I know when I have to blow my nose when I start getting really stuffy in that. I still have allergies yet, thanks to this weird weather we're having. But you want to hear something impressive with this that I saw today? There is a YouTube video out for the Nintendo Switch Parental Guide. That's right. For when your nosy parents want to keep your kids from playing video games, guess what? There's an app for that. The Nintendo Parental Control app. And they have to have Bowser and Bowser Jr. being the spokespeople for this. Oh, boy. The voice on that thing sounded like one of those sex ed videos that you'd hear at a museum when you're on a field trip. Basically, what the parental app's going to do is, with your smartphone, you can activate it, set up how long you want the system to actually play, let your little kid know, hey, your time's up, by having a little message pop up in the thing. If they decide to basically say, beep you, you can actually tell the Switch to shut off while they're in the middle of something. So if they're rounding the last turn, about to claim first place and forever have bragging rights, guess what? If they're even 1 second over that hour limit you set for them, boom! Crotch block. That's right, folks. Blocked by the parents. We'll just say it. Crotch blocked by the parents. You ain't gonna have that ego trip now, son. So that's all what that is. But this is so that, according to the video, to build harmony and oneness with the parents. Yeah, sure. We'll go with harmony and oneness between parents and kids over video games. Okay. I tried that years ago. My mom and I would play Chex Quest on the computer. We played a lot of video games together, mostly computer games. I could never see my mom picking up a controller and actually playing a console game. Sorry, I don't see that happening. Not anytime soon, anyway. So, why does this bother me? You have the parental guide on this thing. It doesn't so much bother me as it annoys me. Because you're basically going, well, we're not really going to give your kids the right to play how long they want. And this could actually be effective for 2 ways. Not only is the parental control a good thing for the parents, this could be something that, let's say you have a significant other that's a gamer, like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner. I'm not going to judge. But let's say that they're a gamer and they're not paying attention to you. Oh, I'll just download the parental app. I'll set it to 30 minutes. Then you're not going to have a choice but to talk to me. I see the parental app being a humongous problem that Nintendo's going to end up getting a tremendous amount of bitching complaints about, if not see a huge drop in their, basically a huge drop in their profits for people buying games. And video was just made it so much worse with Bowser Jr. going, well, because like you can set up rewards for good behavior. What good behavior? What, for being told what to do? Gee, when I was growing up, that was called doing what you were fucking told. Damn, I sound old. So, there's that. So, the Switch is coming out. It'll be here on March 3rd. That's when the world's going to come to an end, folks. So, let's get on with this last topic. This time is running out, and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin soon. So, who remembers Gundam? I do. I like Gundam Wing. I like Mobile Fighter G Gundam. I love the Build Fighters series. So, Hollywood actually had a live-action Gundam film planned in the early 1980s. Long before the anime was released in any form in America. Vague rumors about the project had been circulating for years, but now we've got the whole story, courtesy of Otaku USA and a couple other people, folks at Zimmerit. And Otaku USA had the article up, and that's where I got the article from. But Zimmerit's the one that did the work. Tom Winnikick, I probably mispronounced that, and I apologize. And the folks at Zimmerit discovered that there actually was a project for this. It included an extensive plot summary, script excerpts, and interviews with people involved, including the writer of the film. Juicy tidbits from the article, which is worth a read in its entirety, by the way. I have not read the whole article, but I plan to. Include the fact that designer and futurist Sid Mead was involved in the project over a decade before his turn on Turn A Gundam. That the film's effects were envisioned as entirely CG. An extremely ambitious idea back in '83 that it was to feature a tobacco-swallowing space baseball player described in the script as a tall wacko. The project was ultimately canceled when it turned out not all the rights had been properly cleared, a fate that's befallen many anime projects over the years. I can't even tell you how many that's killed off. Eventually, the world did get a very different live-action Gundam film with Canadians with the Canadian G Savior movie, which, by the way, sucks. But it's just fun to imagine what it would have been like if we actually would have had a live-action Gundam movie in the 80s. Would have been an 80s nostalgia gold right there. But I saw G Savior. That sucked. So I agree with that. That G Savior sucked ass. So, what does this basically mean? Gundam was hot even before it was hot. It's an anime about giant robots. You can't ask for more than that. So, it's just cool. Kudos to the people at Zimmerit. Kudos to Tom Winnikick. I apologize for probably mispronouncing your name. So, yeah. That would have been cool. Too bad we didn't get that. Alright, folks. I believe that's going to do it this week for the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. Like usual, if you want to support the podcast, shoot me an email at acrpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions that you'd like me to possibly air on future podcasts, send me an email to acrpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to have some topics that you'd like to hear my opinions on, you know what to do. Send them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can even just tweet them to me, too, if you want. Like I said, you can follow me on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. That's OTAKURHOADS. And I will see everyone, for Professor Klump, who has already left the building, that fat bastard, and myself, I will see you all next week on the next exciting installment of the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. And hopefully we will all survive the inauguration of Trump that's happening on Friday. I'm indifferent to it. I don't really care. But that's happening on Friday. So, in the words of Edward R. Murrow, ladies and gentlemen, for my 20th podcast, goodbye, good night, and good luck.